Yes, Emma.
Actually, I have a special
cool.
pass
There's
for
a
you.
little thing that pops up here.
I added you as faculty on the
Yeah, I
Kodiak.
saw that, but I didn't know if I was supposed to be accepting people or not.
Um,
On the Kodiak.
So she's academic.
Yeah, you can.
If you want me to.
Yeah,
So,
also,
the other
since
thing
you're back right now on the Kodiak, you wanna go through the group meeting and then add everyone on.
Yeah, I think you're just.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
the cameras.
now and later, we can do it during the meeting.
So right now, we're talking, so it's starting.
athletics at large.
Yeah, athletics at large,
So
athletics
once you guys
at
are
large up
done,
there.
it should.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even.
Hello.
Talk more.
Hello. Hello.
No, I wanted you to go over
Oh,
there.
hello.
Because I'm sorry.
I
Hello.
wanna see if this.
Hello, hello, hello.
We can also
hello.
manually frame it if we
Hello.
My
want.
shirt is so. I don't know what we should do.
I know he
Yeah.
We can just manually frame it. I'm worried that with all those.
Is there gonna be an issue if I use the projectors? Cause I have a presentation that we're doing today, so.
It feels like
I'll
people
show you.
just read my report and try to see off my map.
Resident and commuter are third row here, so just join in. Leave a space next to Kaden and then resident can start.
That was me.
Oh, yeah.
Is this not
what
resident?
Huh?
Is this not resident?
No, pick up. Kyle, sorry. Sorry.
I was
So Cam, you're gonna screen share?
This is.
We don't necessarily have. training, but if we want.
That's what Lauren has told me.
You can if you like, this is
What's
a
it?
meeting, right?
Yeah.
Anything that you would see at the beginning is what's being forecast.
Okay.
So if you share it, but if not, then John says people forget to say. So if you're fine with that. I'm probably gonna work on the camera angle a little bit. It's like we have a framing up, we're worried that it's not.
It's okay.
But yeah, what?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's just delayed.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy when I'm walking to CS.
You're gonna
People are
let
like
me
rushing
know
on the
if,
CS lot and they go, like,
Getting-
earlier day I parked in
You
that.
were gonna probably let me know if we're getting close to 1:55 because there's a class error for us, we can't
When
say.
there's pedestrians. Yeah.
Otherwise, since there's a class, instead of logging out, all the accounts just restart.
Okay.
Because that'll wipe all that stuff. But yeah, when you stop the Zoom meeting, it stops the live stream, so this should happen as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, so how do
I made it.
Oh, so
Did I
like,
get it
stop.
I wish I could get that hard work into that.
And then this, I think, assumes the meeting ends, we'll leave it, but if it doesn't,
Okay,
and then restart.
we are live, by the way. So.
Yeah, anything you say or do kind of will be used against you.
Wow.
Kat, I like your pants.
Yes. Thanks.
Bro, you're right there.
TJ
In the
Maxx.
back.
One person.
But yeah, so.
I don't know yet.
Did the other things to remember?
Okay, you'll be here next week. and I'll be like,
Yeah. I sent you.
Look at you,
Okay, so someone else can do it.
Are you excited?
Okay.
I'll give you my passport.
Yeah, so I'm
And I'm like so close to you
Exclamation point, hashtag.
That's
We can-
We can have.
Oh, yeah, so projected one said.
That's awesome.
They did good.
And all of our stuff is gonna be slanted down, so it's gonna be like.
I don't know why.
Wow.
Very slanted.
I was
Keep my bottom, of course.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't share it. though.
That's why.
I ate down physics so great.
Hopefully it'll let me share and
Well, you're running the meeting, so.
No.
Okay. We're getting really up close and personal. Oh, yeah, we are. Good thing chill. Yeah.
You know, and if you can't do it, I haven't eaten.
We just go anywhere, yeah. Arts and science, you're up front.
I really
Do you want me to say something on this?
Because that image is actually, someone has to.
I mean, you could just
So what we're seeing basically is someone else, the room, it's the room's camera sent through the internet into the screen.
Are all three of those cameras on top
It's
of?
okay, I worked really hard.
No, I think it only records the main one.
Oh,
Because that's the only one, yeah, because if you go to the YouTube stream, the only thing you're seeing is the main camera. You're not seeing the other two. Yeah, because I think the YouTube streaming option can't do multi.
Oh, no. I
guess I
I'm
can
not
get
done
this
Because I was wondering if like that camera would be better because it's facing more of the squares.
Sure, but then you gotta get that. Well, I'm gonna try and reposition it in the future, so.
We're in this nice little.
At-large and athletics are over here. I don't care how they organize themselves. Arts and science, engineering, Brett, because he's special. Business, health sciences, pharmacy and health sciences, resident commuter, more resident commuter class.
And then we change which one is
Does that make, that's everyone, right?
Whose job it was. Which is a pain,
Damn.
but.
Yes. Where do you want?
Yes, on the sides.
I think this would just be difficult to like.
That was pretty idea.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, it is.
So, it's gonna become that when I keep working on it. But I
This
think
is so awesome.
Let me sit in that one. It is a little awkward.
Lower.
Look at all my little. On my bulletin board, it says 48 centimeters strong.
I've got 49.
Oh, 48.
What time?
48.
Well, they were talking about 12:49. Kim, try. Wait, I'm pretty sure.
Are you gonna take a
Like,
picture of us?
if
I
I think if you. You hit
Do you want me to smile or
Hit it
act like I'm
with
doing?
the- That looks like your resident. They're over there, Kyle's sitting over there.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay, arts and sciences, look at me.
That's you.
You don't need to type. You link the PowerPoint.
Oh, cool.
I don't
You're
know,
not
she's
typing
thinking
a
about
single
it.
Are you capable?
Welcome to Student Senate. I'll give you a copy.
Okay, can you take a picture of your board?
Yeah.
What time is it?
I'm requesting a new share.
12:43. Okay, I got 2 minutes.
Yes,
Did you?
No,
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm gonna try and reposition the camera for next week, because I even looked at that. But yeah, I'm thinking of cropping it to like this. Yeah. So you don't see as much, you don't see any of the ceiling, and you'll basically see that too. And later we can try to.
Hold on.
What time is
So
it?
we can be switching.
Why are we making it real?
Resident commuter, resident commuter.
Your
Well,
chair
well,
is
yeah.
literally.
Twelve works.
Well, that's fine. I was like, yeah.
Right there.
Like at a class in 12:20,
Thank you.
12:30.
Okay.
I mean,
If you already have it set. We already have it set.
can I keep it to 2? If you could jump up.
Yeah, I got a class 12:20,
Like-
12:20.
Or wait, you're resident, right? You're over
Yes,
there.
because
Sorry.
that is.
I was so
Yeah,
confused.
political theory.
You're either the third or the fourth row.
Join the control panel. That's
Nice, nice, thank you.
That's not join the call, they're not. It's just Cam who has started the meeting.
So how, what time did you start the meeting? What's the set time? Because my professor, I don't know how I'm sure. Is it
We're gonna
tomorrow?
keep Cam muted because the host wasn't even here.
Cultures. What's my course class? Yeah,
You're on the crosstalk.
If it's okay, because we can freedom to speak.
Sorry.
Weird, I hate it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. This can be the gallery area. That's good. Yeah, have fun.
I would never get denied.
Or you
To have
don't
to be
exist.
Yeah, we all
for
heard.
my residents, someone didn't exist, and I was like, I just gotta tell my God.
What's their name?
Type in This Kodiak, use nicknames.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
She's like, nobody's doing anything. She's like,
Meeting to order, roll call.
I apologize for that.
Senator Amsden?
Or until I figure it out, I'm trying to figure out how we can get you on for like next week.
Okay.
So that way it happens.
Senator Amsden?
I apologize about that.
Yes.
Senator Ottawa?
Just say here, yeah.
Oh, yeah, guys, and if I say your name wrong, please correct me. And I'll learn it probably for next time, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'll learn it eventually, but hopefully for next time. Senator Ballschneider?
Here.
Senator Bolio?
Here.
Senator Beedrin?
Say here. Thank you.
Yes, we're these guys. Senator Brown?
Here.
Senator Kate?
Here.
Senator Daniels?
Here.
Senator Demers?
Here.
Senator Diaz?
Here.
Senator Farrell?
Here.
Senator Gagnon?
Here.
Senator Godek?
Here.
Wait.
Which one?
Godek.
Here.
Sorry.
You're in a couple. Senator Goodman?
Here.
Senator Gudick?
Here.
Senator Guzman?
Here.
Senator Holman? Senator Joseph?
Here.
Senator Contos?
Here.
Senator Lemieux?
Here.
Senator Lipscomb?
Here.
Senator Mackey? Senator Mazzaferro?
Here.
Senator Bassam? Senator McGuffey?
Here.
Senator Miller?
Here.
Senator Noonan? Senator O'Connor?
Here.
Senator Oros?
Here.
Senator Pavlik?
Here.
Senator Ritchie?
Here.
Senator Scorpa?
Here.
Senator Shimura? Senator Sidlecki?
Here.
Senator Silver?
Here.
Senator Spalding?
Here.
Senator Warren?
Here.
Senator Welch? Chairperson Lucier?
Here.
Secretary Bronson?
Here.
Chairperson Greenwood?
Here.
Chairperson McKiernan?
Here.
Treasurer Thurston?
Here.
Chairperson Amaya?
Here.
Vice President Cloutier? President Fox?
Present. Was anyone missed that is a senator? Please raise your hand if we missed you for some reason. Okay. All right, well, welcome to Student Senate, everyone. For now, until the new senators are sworn in, we have like just a couple of procedural things that I'm gonna do really quickly. Do not participate in voice votes until you're sworn in. So for now, I'm gonna move for the acceptance of the minutes from the 9/16/2025 meeting.
Second.
All right, hearing a second, are there any additions, revisions, or deletions to these sets of minutes? Okay, seeing none, we'll move for a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? The motion passes. Next, I move for the acceptance of the results of the fall 2025 midterm elections.
Second.
All right, hearing a second, are there any questions or comments about accepting the results of an uncontested Senate election? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? The motion passes. With the acceptance of the results from the fall 2025 election, it is my pleasure to now swear in the newly elected senators. So if the newly elected senators could please stand and repeat after me and raise your right hand. It's going to sound a little messy, but just follow along. Yes, and state your own name. Do not say state name. And position. I state your name.
I, Chase Spalding,
Do solemnly swear that I will,
do solemnly swear that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
fulfill the duties and responsibilities of position then representative
fulfill the duties and responsibilities of the College of Arts and Sciences Representative Class of 2029.
and I will, to the best of my ability,
And I will, to the best of my ability,
uphold and follow
uphold and
the
follow
policies of the Student Senate
the policies of the Student
and
Senate
the Student Senate Constitution.
and the Student Senate Constitution.
Congratulations. This was a very historic election. We are at historic numbers for Student Senate, seeing as we are all here. I apologize for the haphazard setup of where all of you guys are sitting. We didn't know the room layout until we got in here, so there's no real way to like plan it. Because I know the seats will change around from class to class, depending on who needs to move over here, over there. Next week, I'm hoping that now that we have this under our belt, we'll have everyone more compacted in the middle and maybe just one row of people here. But if you guys are kind of like over here, or if you're in the wrong spot and stuff like that, arts and science, engineering, Brett, College of Business, College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. There's 2 seats here. Resident and commuter can go over there. Resident, commuter in this row that's full. This row, we'll figure out what to do with next week. We'll probably just move the class reps up and leave that one vacant or push the at-large and athletics rep back. But for now, at-large and athletic reps are here. If there's any alternates, please just like go on the side. But yeah, again, arts and science, engineering, Brett, business, pharmacy, health sciences, more commuter resident seats, commuter resident. We'll figure something out for that week or for next week, but commuter resident class. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna move to strike agenda item C. So is there a second for that?
Second.
Okay. Hearing a second, just a brief conversation about this. We need to talk with the club sport athletic directors, so Lori Mayhew and Matt Lean, about hockey that was overstepped through the normal club creation process on accident, both on our part and on student involvement's part. So they did come, but we had to tell them that we have to push it off again. So I apologize to them if they are watching this. But we just need to check in with them first because they're the ones that put through the orders and have like the official websites and stuff like that where they would buy sanctioned merchandise and put through stuff for sanctioned competitions that are D3 athletics. So are there any questions or comments about striking that agenda item? Okay, seeing none, we're going to do a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? The motion passes. Next, we are going to just do our little, welcome to Student Senate. That's fine. Fine, addressed to you guys. So, last year, I addressed the Senate after the midterm election, so I felt like this should be a nice little tradition going forward. So we're going to do that again. So senators, welcome. Today marks the beginning of something greater than any one of us. Each of you stood before our campus community and asked for their trust to represent them, to fight for them, to lead them. Whether your election was contested or not, that act alone demands respect. You've earned mine and the respect of many others across our campus community. So congratulations. Last year, we were on the brink. At the start of the school year, we had a president, a vice president, and a treasurer that made up the executive board, and just 10 senators. On top of that, university projects that affected students stalled, clubs lacked support, and the biggest myth was being pushed around for years, that students here were not engaged. With hard work, dedication, and partnerships with others across the university, things today have turned around drastically, which is a huge positive sign for this campus and this student body. Today is a great day because we are proving the narrative that students here are not engaged completely and utterly false. Students here are engaged. They care. They speak up. They wear their pride in the blue that is seen all across this campus community. It's more visible on our students than some of the students at the biggest schools in our nation. What we lacked wasn't passion. It was people willing to do the work. That's where all of us come in. Through boots on the ground effort, meaningful conversations, successful advocacy, and relentless dedication, we didn't just grow, we made history. We are not like other club groups on campus. We don't recruit year-round. We only recruit twice a year. And yet today, we stand 48 members strong. That kind of growth doesn't happen in most student governments, especially not at institutions our size. What we built here is different. It's deliberate, it's driven, and it's real. We are now one of the largest and most active organizations on this campus. Not because we followed the norm, but because we consistently challenged it when it was time. That number, 48, it is more than just a statistic. It's a signal that this campus is alive with energy, ideas, and a burning desire to build something better. Last year, I said our numbers were a mandate for a seat at the table when it came to decisions that shape the future of this university. This year, it's more than a mandate. It's a demand, a loud and clear, undeniable demand from the student body to be heard, to be represented, and to be led by people who care enough to act. Now it's our job to harness that energy to transform this Senate into a true leadership force, not just a governing body, but a coalition of change makers. We don't just exist, we lead. We don't just talk, we act, and we do so swiftly and pragmatically. You have been called for one reason or another. You felt compelled to lead. This is an honor you must never take for granted. This organization has a legacy of tackling tough issues. I have seen it a lot over the past 3 years. And starting today, that long shared legacy now belongs to all of you. Now, before we begin our training, I want to lay out the 2 most important ground rules for being a part of the Student Senate. The first is to be respectful. You represent far more than just yourself. You carry the voices of your constituents, the representation of this entire Senate, and the integrity of student leadership at your fingertips. Respect is not optional. It's mandated and it's foundational. If I witness disrespect in a meeting towards another senator, a guest, or a member of our community, you will be excused. I have the power to excuse you. If you challenge that, our Senate Secretary Kilday, or Public Safety will ensure the meeting continues without disruption. If you interrupt someone, I will point of order you. I will point of order you by name. These acts are not personal. They're about preserving a professional, safe, and inclusive space for dialogue, for improvement, and for change. We are here to lead, not to dominate, to serve, not to grandstand. Respect is the bedrock of everything we do. And without it, we cannot function as a Senate properly. And let me be clear, if you act with absolute blatant disrespect with no regard for others while serving in your official capacity, I will not hesitate to start impeachment proceedings against you. It would take something serious, but I know that accountability is not just a principle. It's a promise that I've consistently ran on and enforced. If you're new, you can ask the executive board what my history is on that. The second most important ground rule is do not be afraid. It's scary to tackle tough conversations, but somebody has to do it. It's hard to ask people to change what they've been doing for years and years on end, but sometimes change is necessary, even if it's uncomfortable. Taking a stand, making suggestions, and using your voice is where the biggest forms of personal and community growth happens. Speak up. Speak boldly. Speak truthfully. Even if we disagree, I will defend your right to speak to the bitter end. We will talk about issues that span across the community. I ask that you try your best, and we all try our best to leave names of community members out of discussions if possible, especially other students. With that, if you ever feel retaliated against for positions that you're taking, issues you bring up, especially when it comes to academics, please reach out to the executive board, Director Grimm, Vice President Matthews, or someone else that's trusted and high ranking at the university. We will act on your behalf immediately. Retaliation is unacceptable in any form across this community, and it should never happen to members of this Senate due to your beliefs and your positions. Some of the most powerful voices from over the years were ones who were afraid to speak. That was me when I started in Senate, and probably a lot of the executives who sit with me today. If that is you, know this, your voice matters. And when you use it, you may just become one of the most effective advocates the Senate has ever seen, and maybe even the president. To close, senators, lead with purpose, show up, speak out. Don't wait for someone else to raise the issue. Be the one who brings it forward. This Senate belongs to all of us. Every voice matters. Every action we take, we must take together. Throughout our history, individual senators have stepped up and championed issues that change this campus forever. You don't need the gavel to make that change. You just need the courage, the care, and the drive to do it. I consider myself incredibly lucky to have each of you here. I've always dreamed of building a Senate made up of the best and brightest leaders on campus. And today, I'm proud to say we have done just that. Whether you're a seasoned student leader or a first year stepping into your first leadership role, know this: I want to work with you. I want you to feel comfortable. I want to support you, not just as senators, but as people. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. My door is open, and I think I can speak for Vice President Cloutier, the rest of the executive board, when I say I'm sure they all feel the same. We are only successful when we move forward as a team. So speak boldly, act with integrity, and never forget why you are here: to serve, to lead, and to make a better campus for everyone that inhabits it. Thank you, and let's get to work. The rest of this meeting is going to be pretty informal. I just have a PowerPoint that I'm going to share with you all, and then I'll answer questions. If you guys have questions during it, feel free to raise your hand. We're not going to do any like formal business today, so there's not like much for you guys to be worried about in that regard. Want to come up with that?
I just figured out how to do word picture.
Okay.
You figure out how to use it now.
So for those of you who were here last year with Student Senate 102, I'm glad to say that we upgraded, or 101, I'm glad to say we upgraded to 102. So yeah. So for new senators, what do we do here at the Student Senate? We are the voice of student concerns in a formal and professional manner. We address and solve issues on behalf of the student body, enhance campus quality of life, allocate the student activities, fee revenue fairly, charter clubs and organizations across campus, specifically undergraduate ones, and assist club leadership in executing their duties.
So there are a couple things that you guys have missed just because this is the midterm elections. We have passed the rules package, which is in the Kodiak already. So is the Kaufman Cloutier agenda. If you go to the president's section for the term, you'll find that under the Kodiak, that kind of targets what we're working on for this term. There's constitutional amendments that we approved. Those were featured on the ballots if you voted in the election, which I hope you did. There were constitutional amendments on the ballot. Those are also in the Kodiak. Basically everything's in the Kodiak. The passage of club budgets, most of our funds have already been allocated, if I'm correct. So you can see how much money each club was allocated. And then the appointment of our executive board. I don't know, should we introduce that?
We have a slide for that.
Okay, good, good. And the appointment of our officers.
Yeah. So if you're not in the group me yet, which like 8 of you aren't,
There's
join. There's 2. Scan both of the QR codes now, please.
The first one, the important announcements one, that's where we'll be like, okay, guys, we're meeting here today, or make sure you review this before the meeting. The conversational ones are more casual, happy birthdays and such.
Yeah. Only the e-board and the officers have access to announcements, like to post stuff, but if you have something you would like us to post, like if you're working on a form for another organization that needs student feedback, just connect with literally anyone that has access to it and they can just put it in there for you. And we'll, if there's an issue with it, we'll just talk together about it and see if it's appropriate. I'll let you do this one.
Okay, so the agendas, they're posted on Kodiak before each meeting. Usually I get them up at Monday at around noon. So that's under the vice president section on the Kodiak. Basically, they're all in front of you, so you can see what an agenda looks like. It follows the same format, week to week. If you have an agenda item that you'd like me to put on the agenda, please let me know like a day before so that I don't have to keep posting it and changing it and deleting it. Camden. And you can also propose like hot topics at the start of the meeting, and Cam can move to amend the agenda.
You guys can move to amend it too. You could just raise your hand and just say, I move to amend the agenda, and then just say what you want to talk about, and then I can add it in if you don't care where it is. If you think it's important enough, say specifically where you want it, like if you want it at the top, you can do that. Just don't put it before the minutes. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking to see what we're gonna talk about before you get here, go on the Kodiak, look under the vice president section.
Meeting minutes, they are an almost verbatim record. It provides a one-to-one account of what was said at our meetings. It's an editable draft that's posted on Sunday, and it can be amended to correct inaccuracies that were stated before, or errors that say like something was misspelled or something like that. If you see it, you can amend it and just let Secretary Kilday know at the next meeting, or let her know in advance, preferably, so then she can just repost it and we can just approve it.
She works very hard on those minutes.
Yeah.
Long hours to dictate what we're saying on page.
Yeah, those are like sent to our accreditors and like the faculty senate, other faculty members, the VPs of the university look at them and read through them from time to time. I can't count on the amount of fingers I have on my hands, how many times I get an email from them saying, I saw you talked about this. Like, let's have a conversation about that. So know like what you said is recorded and people will look at it.
If you ever have something long to say and like you've prepared something in advance, please give it to Becca just so that she doesn't have to type everything that you're speaking. And then also you might notice her asking someone to state their name for the sake of the minutes if there's a visitor in the room, just because she records who's speaking and what. Yeah.
Your voice is your power. In my speech, I obviously encourage you guys to speak. You're obligated to speak, especially on behalf of those you represent. Your group trusted you with their voice, so use yours. Leadership means stepping up even when it's uncomfortable. So if there's something that you're really dreading bringing up, please talk to me. I'll try my best to help you bring it up. I'll bring it up. I'll start the conversation if that makes you more comfortable. But, your voice is important. Silence fails the people who chose you to be in these roles. And again, you were called to this role. It's your job to fulfill it with courage sometimes. We have had tough conversations, especially the past 3 years. I do want to shout out a couple people who have done a great job of speaking up, especially recently. Senator Godek, you added stuff onto the agenda. Sorry, Godek. You added stuff onto the agenda last week and obviously brought very important issues to the table. At the end of last year with the community culture conversation, Senator Lemieux, you definitely spoke up, especially on behalf of the College of Engineering and some of the issues you guys were having, like Senator Barazzi, who can't be here today, 2 meetings ago, spoke on a lot of the facilities issues. It's super important for you guys to speak up, and you don't need to speak up every meeting, but when something is specifically affecting you or you feel passionate about it, it really is your obligation to do it. So please do it.
If you're nervous about like how to speak, or especially in the first couple of weeks, because Robert's rules can be a little confusing. We're not strict about Robert's rules. Like if you have something to say and you're not quite sure how to say it, we can help you get there, but we really do love to hear your ideas. So
yeah. Also, if you want to do an action like a motion, but you don't know what exactly to say, just raise your hand and tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what to say. Discussions. So respect everyone's opportunity to speak. Keep comments focused on the topic at hand. Share your perspectives, but avoid repeating points already made. Address ideas, not individuals. Use professional and constructive language. try your best to follow parliamentary procedure and the chair's discretion. So as the head of the meeting, I'm the chair, so president's discretion. If you don't know what to do, say what you want to happen. We will walk you through it, like I just said. Something that I've noticed a lot, and the next slide is just bad discussion habits, is repeating the same point after it's already been addressed. Especially the past couple weeks, like we did have some great discussions, and I would ask, like, is this something new? And if you guys would bring something new to the table, but it would just be a personal experience about the same issue, that's just adding to a discussion that's already happening and a point that was already said. So if someone's already said it and you concur, I mean, like you can clap, you can knock on the table, like I don't care what you do to show your support, you can show your support. Just please don't like add more discussion time when it's just not needed. If a point was made, the point was made. And
For
you know,
Becca's sake.
yeah,
For Becca's sake.
Yeah, for
She does
Becca's
not want
sake.
to type out the same thing 10 times.
I also have fully cut points that were made that were the exact same. It's like the literal
Yeah.
exact same point, and I go, okay, that's not necessary.
Yeah, while we encourage you
Don't
to
make me do
speak,
that.
please don't speak for the sake of speaking. Have something new and important to say.
Also, guests will be here for business that needs to get done. If you're doing that, you're not respectful of their time. So please keep that in mind too. Obviously, again, we want to have conversations. We want you guys to feel comfortable speaking, but don't be repetitive. Don't go off topic or sidetrack conversations. Talking over others or interrupting, like I said, is not allowed. I will point of order you. Making discussions personal instead of idea focused, yeah, and then unprofessional or dismissive language is just never allowed, and that I'm just gonna send you out for the day. So.
Okay, introducing your Student Senate Executive Board. This is Camden Kaufman.
Well,
My name is Jess Cloutier. I'm the Vice President, Campus President. Will McKierden, Campus Relations Chairperson. Blanca Maya, Legislative Chairperson. Brianna Thurston, that's our treasurer right there, guys. Becca Kilday, Secretary. Catherine Greenwood, PR Chair. And Haley Bronson, Secretary of Academic Affairs. And then Bridget Grimm is our advisor, and so is Craig Matthews, who's not here, he couldn't be here today, but him and Leah are also our advisors.
yeah, our contact info will probably be posted on the Kodiak soon in case you ever need to get in contact with us. All of us are pretty open about you guys reaching out to us specifically, so don't be afraid to reach out to us, even if you're not assigned to like one of their committees. If you have something to talk to them about, feel free, or if you want to talk to Jess or I, we're an open book with you guys. Anything you want to know.
My job is literally to help you guys do what you need to do, so please text me, don't hesitate.
Really quickly, because we're gonna have like committee sections where Will, Blanca, Bree, and Kat will be able to speak. But I don't know, like fun fact or like interesting thing or like something you want them to know about your guys' positions, Haley and Becca, or like when they should go to you maybe.
Any other problem concerning academics?
If you can't make a meeting for any reason, send me an email before that meeting. If it's a more urgent, in the moment issue, send me a text and send me an email later. And you can CC Cam on that. We both have the power to approve or excuse absences. I want to work with you guys. I'm also, we'll be reaching out if there's any issues with attendance or, attire.
Yes, some of the smartest and most hardworking people I know, so utilize them.
What do we do as like the 8 of us as executives? We guide the Senate's goals and priorities. We make proposals to you guys to vote on. So most of the boots on the ground work is done by us. And every Tuesday you show up and vote on our proposals or our decisions. You can always overturn a decision that one of us makes outside of a meeting. If it's something that we voted on in the previous meeting, that's a little bit of a different story. We can reconsider some things, other things we can't. But they have powers to do certain things outside of a meeting. And if they say, like Blanca says, I use the legislative committee to remotely approve this constitution. And for some reason, you think the legislative committee was out of their grounds to do so, which I don't know why, but for some reason you think that. you could just say, I move to strike the decision of the legislative committee and its chair to amend this constitution, and then we'll have a discussion and vote on it. Yeah. Support you guys, provide resources, guidance, advice, represent students. We're more broad in our roles. You guys are a lot more specific, but still liaisons to leadership. On campus, we connect with the university VPs and other senior university officials, except the deans of the colleges. That's up to the college reps. So yeah, and then your guys' job is, like I said, to keep us accountable, ensure we uphold the Constitution and our commitments and our actions. And make sure that we're actually prioritizing things that the student body wants.
Our Senate officers, they're not technically, they're not technically in the, executive board, so to speak, but they do have very specialized roles, which is why they get a position. So Brett Lucier, who this might be apparently. He's our special events chair. Brett, do you want to talk, like, give like a little sentence on the stuff that you're gonna do?
So my big thing is events. Most of the Senate held events I'm in charge of. The one that's going on next week is Spirit Week, which is on U Post everywhere and a couple other places, but basically dress up to represent your class. And then I'll do a couple more throughout the year.
Yes, okay, thank you, Brett. Emma Ballschmider, she's our undersecretary. I don't know if you want to speak at all.
Basically just help Becca out a little bit, yeah.
Becca needed help. It's a tough role.
She's adding you all to the Kodiak right now.
Did it.
Oh, perfect. You're all added to the Kodiak now. So thank you, Emma.
And then Natalia Miller is our international student affairs chair. Do you want to tell them a little about what you do?
I handle all the issues relating to international students, so it could be really small things like taxes or bigger things like policies that university has regarding them.
Nice. And then Samantha Bolio, who is our health,
Pending approval.
pending approval, our health, well-being, and safety chair. Do you want to talk about what you do?
Or, pretty much, I'm the connection between the Center for Health and Wellbeing, their director, Lauren, as well as with Sarah Butterick and some other connections on campus for just general. The title sums it up pretty well.
Oh, it's missing food also. Health, well-being,
too.
food, and
And safety.
safety, or well-being, food, and safety, whatever it's gonna be. We'll vote on it next week.
Yes, and these are all, positions that are specific to our
Our administration.
our administration. So these are positions that we decided that we needed specialized roles in. They won't necessarily carry over into other terms. But as of right now, they're filled. They are positions that hypothetically someone like Sam, you could be a senator and also
Yeah.
hold one of those positions, sure.
So now we have our 4 standing committees, which are finance, legislative, public relations, and campus relations. We're gonna have you guys fill out a form that indicates your interests. So, please pay attention and know.
I can put it.
Yeah, but like wait for us to finish what we're talking about. That way you don't like sign up for one thing and it's one thing and then it ends up being another. To start with finance committee, they're responsible for fair allocation of the student activities fee revenue. They conduct audits and budget allocation hearings and recommend allocations or reclamations based on their findings.
So currently, I am the liaison between the Senate and the CFO, Ray McCarthy. I have been connecting with him a lot based on concerns that I need to bring up and address with the Senate. Some of those include our budget as well as public safety concerns because public safety does report to him. Our committee conducts audits and we review those through the monthly reports. We also accept additional allocations after initials have been proposed. I also have hearings for that just to get their input. Yeah, all I have.
Thanks for.
Next is legislative. They address constitutional questions and issues on the Senate floor. Well, specifically, that's what Blanca does if they were to come up. Drafts constitutions and secures Senate approval for new clubs and organizations. Helps new clubs after they are created get a club email, which is new for this year. monitor compliance with rules. Violations may lead to consequences. Alden, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. So yeah, kind of what President Kaufman was saying, we oversee all of those. Additionally, because of the rules package, we have a little bit more autonomy when it comes to the legislative committee. We oversee club impeachment proceedings of executive board officials. Same thing with club amendments. We don't have to bring it to the Senate floor. However, if any of these things were to happen, an impeachment or an amendment to a constitution, I would bring that to the floor in my report to kind of mention that that happened. And if anything, as President Kaufman and Vice President Cloutier have mentioned, anyone could motion to amend that, strike that down, or anything like that.
Next is PR, which oversees outreach and marketing for the Student Senate, organizes events to promote the Senate and community members, smaller events from like what Brett would be doing, more of like our outreach, like community service-based stuff, and then runs the Senate social media accounts.
So I would say that my committee is probably the most different from the other ones, as we don't like meet formally and discuss things like that, but like things like club fairs, involvement fairs, all of that, like I need people who are willing to be outspoken and are able to provide information on Senate and be able to not be camera shy. It'd be a nice big extra. So, yeah.
Kat loves making TikToks.
I love making.
So if you also like making TikToks, PR is your committee for sure.
Last but not least, Campus Relations Committee. They handle formal and informal grievances presented to the Student Senate, which can be done through multiple different means. They investigate and propose large-scale investments to enhance campus quality of life, again, through multiple different ways now. And then they connect members of the community together to solve issues. Will?
Summed it up pretty well. We're really focused on making a better community here at Western New England, and that's either through capital projects or like you said, connecting community members. Really fun committee to join if you're interested in something like a physical embodiment of the work that we do through like the capital projects that we do, or working with other clubs. So it's a really good committee. You guys should definitely join.
There's definitely things that you guys can work on within those committees that, like, depending on like what your major career path is, would look very good. Like, one of the things that I often tell people, like from engineering, I'm like, do CR, because you build stuff, which is like, yeah, I know it's a lot more complex than that, but like, a lot of the stuff we do is like improving buildings, which like civil, for example.
Or any sort of finance, accounting, major,
Audits.
yeah, finance.
We don't physically build anything.
Well,
We are
come up with the plans to do it.
And
though.
yes, you budget it out, you find contractors. You do a lot, Will. Don't undersell yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Student Senate rules package. So this is the thing I was referencing earlier, saying it's in the Kodiak. It's implemented at the start of the term, our term, and it basically like takes the Constitution and makes it more specific, and it sets up rules that where everybody that's binding to all senators for this term. Anybody can propose an amendment to the rules package at any time, and we'll have a discussion about it. There are certain things that you can do that violate the rules package and may lead to like disciplinary action from us, but again, it's all set out in the rules package.
We talk about attendance and attire in a little bit, so I guess like key rules for our Senate are, again, executives have to report out actions they take without like the Senate's consent based on the powers that they have. The respect one, obviously, that's a big one. Technology, yeah, we talk about that also. I've been pretty lenient with technology this year. I don't think any of the meetings we've had so far, I said that you can't use it. Generally speaking, you'll probably be able to if we have like long documents, which for the past couple meetings we have, but I'm sure going forward, like when we have visitors, there's gonna be a strict no technology policy. We have Michael Alexander, the interim president, coming soon. We have Olivia, the new assistant director of student involvement, coming soon. We're probably gonna have the interim provost come in. These are all like very high-ranking members of the university or new community members, like, we want to set a good impression and have an engaging and thoughtful discussion with them. So no technology. I mean, if you need your phone to like, because you wrote down questions beforehand, like just let us know that that's what you're using it for, but we ask that you like print it out. in
Yeah,
advance.
and if you need to answer a text or take a phone call, please do it
That's fine.
outside the room, but it's okay, like, we're not gonna stop you from communicating, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so our attendance policy, like Becca said before, she's in charge of keeping track of attendance. Please notify her 24 hours in advance if you know you're going to miss a meeting, for something that's not an emergency. You can either email her and CC Cam or email Cam and CC Becca or both. In order for you to be excused from the meeting, it has to be 24 hours in advance. Attendance violations and dismissals cannot be appealed, just because,
Dereliction of duty.
yeah. And then 2 illegal absences, so if you didn't give a 24-hour notice that you weren't gonna be here, or if there was some reason you weren't here that wasn't an actual emergency, if you have 2 or more of those, it may lead to removal. And failure to submit your monthly reports also counts as an attendance violation. Senators are expected to submit monthly reports for their constituencies. And if we don't see those, then we don't really know what you guys are doing, so.
This is the one rule policy where it doesn't go to an impeachment vote. If you're not here, like I just said, it's a dereliction of duty, you're out. There's no excuse to not let us know. Obviously, if an emergency comes up, like the day of the meeting, you end up in the hospital, just reach out whenever you can.
Or other less extreme things that also constitute an emergency.
Yeah, like stuff like that, but, please, like, communication's key.
Yeah,
That,
just
don't let it
let
get
us
to
know.
that point.
Um,
Committee attendance policies, that's just at the discretion of the chairs. A lot of it's remote, so your attendance is paying attention to the group chat and voting yes or no. It is that simple. Again, if they do call an in-person meeting, just let them know if you can't be there. I've directed them to be as lenient as possible. In years past, it used to be super strict, especially with legislative, like you had to be at all of them or else you might get impeached from Senate. I do not have that policy. They do not have that policy. Most committee decisions typically again made over text, informal, and brought to the Senate table at the discretion of your committee chair, reported if it's a specific action.
Attire policy for tops, polos, button-ups, anything that fancier than your favorite t-shirt, for bottoms, khakis, black pants, jeans, or skirts. Basically just look semi-professional, not like you just got out of bed. If you wanna be like Josh and wear a tie, feel free. But just make both, do you have a tie on over there?
I do have a time.
Both Joshes have a tie on. Yeah, basically just make sure that you're representing, student leadership and. What's our punitive? Our attire, Becca is in charge of
Yes.
attire, right? So.
Yeah. That,
Everyone
like,
looks good today.
Everyone looks
So keep it
fantastic.
please do not let attire be a reason why an impeachment comes up. That would just be super embarrassing. And
You
it
guys will
would take a
also-
lot, but it can happen.
You'll also all get Senate polos and sweatshirts that also,
Oh, sweatshirts TBD.
sweatshirts TBD, but, Will, Sam, Brett, Kyle, they're all wearing Senate polos. Those count for us as, uniforms, works for us.
If you wear like a black shirt and khakis or a black shirt and jeans, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you look professional, like Jess said, you can just roll out of bed.
Occasionally, Kat will have dress down days where we do themes for her marketing. Everybody looks so sad on set.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Y'all wanna dress up?
last week was pajama
Yeah,
pajama day,
Pink out day is coming on.
so
Yeah,
keep a lookout in the group chat in case there's a dress down day.
this is the first like Senate that is like, nah. we
They,
want to be
they look
professional.
so
Like, you guys are
sad
like,
when I said that. Okay,
Conflict of interest, oh, my favorite topic, this is in the rule also. If you are an active member of a club, abstain from voting on any matters of business that involve that club. If you attend a club meeting in the past month but are unsure of your status, abstain from voting on any business we are talking about with that club. You can discuss and support clubs you are a part of, but you cannot vote on any related business to those clubs. Voting on business related to a club you are in or you are a part of can be grounds for impeachment due to conflict of interest. So please keep that in mind.
It's important that like, if you are a representative of a club and like you wanna speak on that and advocate for it, like that's okay. But if we're voting on something related to our club, like Cam said, just abstain when he says those who abstain,
Yeah.
that's all.
Most of our voting is done digitally in the group meet too, so. Miscellaneous rules, disruption, I already mentioned that. Meetings are required to be open, but we can enter an executive session for confidential discussions. That happened last year, it could happen this year, I don't know for sure, it's at the discretion of myself or any member of the E-board to just put us into at any time, or you guys can motion to put us in and it needs a 2/3 majority to pass. If you, for whatever reason, feel the need that we need to have a confidential discussion, please reach out in advance. And typically it's just gonna be easier and more efficient for me to just put us under it. And that way we're not caught off guard because it's gonna be hard to justify why we need to go into it if nobody knows why we need to go into it. So.
Those
please
don't
reach
happen
out.
frequently.
Yeah,
I think I've been on Senate for 3 years and we've been in 2.
yeah.
Senate? Yeah.
Rules can be suspended, it depends on the context, but things like dress down.
Technology.
attire, technology, those are really the only ones that will really ever be suspended. Maybe we might suspend like the agenda and we might just move completely out of order, or have a free form conversation. That's probably not gonna happen though.
But it could.
It could, yeah. Again, the rules package can be amended at any time, so look through it. If you don't like it, say something about it. Don't just not say anything about it and let it become an issue. Certain votes require 2/3 supermajority to pass. Any impeachment proceedings, both for executives and for senators, need 2/3. That's probably the biggest one. I believe club executive impeachment, maybe if it comes to here, it not in your committee, but if it comes to here, it needs 2/3. I'm not 100% sure if we have that written down.
From last year.
Oh, 2/3 from the club. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, disregard that. Clubs need we need 2/3 support from a specific club to get their consent to do an impeachment proceeding. Specifically, if they do have an impeachment policy too, we have the authority to step in if they need a mediator. So 2/3 of them need to consent. So speeches should be submitted to the secretary in advance, or they will not be put into the minutes. Robert's Rules of Order. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the guide to our meetings that we somewhat follow. It dictates how we discuss and vote on items sometimes. And the president and legislative chair are charged with ensuring we follow the basic rules, at least in how they're applied in our rules package and constitution. You don't need to be an expert in Robert's rules to be a successful senator. Show up, talk about the issues, vote, put stuff to the table. You don't need to know every little motion and point. There's some guides on the Kodiak. I can print them out for you guys if you really want them. You don't need them to do your job effectively. What you need to do your job effectively is you and your voice. So please keep that in mind. You don't need to get nitty gritty. If you want to, I think the legislative committee would be a good one for you, because if something comes up in a meeting and we're deadlocked on how to handle it, I have to refer it to that committee to vote on and do research on. So that hasn't come up either. Typically, we do have a response in meeting on how we should handle it, either from what we know about Robert's rules or a rules package, but still, if you're interested in that, yeah, join legislative.
And this is what they use in the rules, right?
Yes, well, the real Senate and House use a form of parliamentary procedure. we're kind of like a mix of the two because we have a rules package, which was my idea. We pulled it straight from the House of Representatives, and like some of the sections are literally named the same thing. So, but yeah, that's how our actual government, specifically the British government though, you do their operations.
Voting. This is really easy, guys. Yes vote. I agree with the motion being proposed. No vote. I disagree with the motion being proposed. Abstain. I choose not to vote on this. That is what we were talking about earlier. The only time you really abstain is if you are feeling neutral, you don't want to pick a side, or you are directly involved with what we're voting on and therefore cannot vote. And then a pass is saying, I'd like to see how everybody else votes, and then I'd like to place my vote. So basically you just put it at the end of the list. We'll come back to you.
We're probably never gonna do that because there's so many of us, so do a
We're voting
roll
on
call would
group
take like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
traditionally we've done roll call votes, which is like someone says your name and you go yes, no, abstain, or pass. But right now, we've been working with the GroupMe and doing polls in there. So hopefully, I mean, in that case, you wouldn't really need to pass. You would just wait until everybody else votes. It is, I think, important to note that sometimes, like, if somebody brings a motion and then somebody says, I'd like to amend that motion, there'll be two votes that happen. The first one is to say either yes or no,
Amen.
I support that amendment. And then we'll vote on, okay, now that the amendment is either accepted or denied, we're voting on the original motion. So sometimes we'll have that happen and everybody gets a little confused on what we're actually voting for. So just pay attention to the words that you hear. If you hear, I motion to versus I move to amend, right?
Yes.
Get that?
You can, yeah, either one of those works.
Yeah.
So,
If that happens, though, we'll explain what's going on.
please, like, if there is an issue where like you don't understand, raise your hand. Like, if I put it to a vote and like a lot of you guys are confused, typically I'll be able to tell from the body language and I'll repeat it. But if you need me to repeat it after I say I put it to a vote, it's not gonna be on the minutes, but I can re-explain it to you guys on what yes and no particularly means.
Mhm.
That has happened a couple times. Don't be afraid to speak up. You're probably not the only one if you are confused.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we've had a couple discussions where we've had a lot of abstentions lately. Please, if you're planning on abstaining, like, try your best to have some type of grounds to do so. If you're abstaining and we're not really having a discussion on something, you need to ask questions. It is on you to do that and inform yourself on certain matters that we vote on. It is your right to abstain. I'm not gonna say like you absolutely can't. If you feel unsure and you don't wanna affect the vote, that's a great justification to do it. But if there's no discussion happening and there's a ton of abstentions, I might have us redo the discussion and vote again. So please just keep that in mind. Motions, this is your power and how you can get your agenda done. Any senator can make a main motion after receiving recognition from the president. Motions are to be done if you want us to vote on something or if you want us to discuss something. If a motion is already being discussed, you cannot make a random motion. Only amendments related to the current motion are allowed. That is in our rules package. It's called germaneness. If we're voting on a budget, you can't vote on a constitution. That's pretty straightforward though. Appointed executive board members do not have this power. They make recommendations for the Senate to adopt. This is because they have powers to just act autonomously outside of Senate and they're paid to do so.
Do you want to give an example of what that would be like?
Like
Blanca.
Blanca has, I guess, the power to.
Well, make a recommendation, Blanca.
At this time, I make the recommendation for the student senate to accept and approve hockey club.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
There you go.
So
There you go.
when they make a recommendation, they need a senator or me or Jess to move it forward for them because they don't have voting power. They're sitting members, but they don't vote. So that's what so moved means. So when someone says a recommendation, we need someone to say that in order to motion it and then a second to talk about it. If we don't get either one of those, it just dies. We have to move on. With 50, or with what could be 51 of us, right now 48 of us, I doubt we'll ever have a situation like that unless like,
Somebody says something.
yeah, it's like something crazy would need to happen. But yeah, are there any questions about motions, recommendations, how that works? Okay.
Second, so, or kind of what we were just talking about, it doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with the thing that someone is saying, it just means that you want to hear about it. So basically, every time somebody seconds a motion, we have a discussion about it. Cam usually sets like a time limit that we'll talk about something. People can raise their hands and contribute. But only voting members can second a motion. So that is me, Camden, and all of you, not these guys.
Points. So here are 4 points that you can use. It's the same thing as like if you want a motion, just raise your hand. Point of order is speaking out of turn. Or like an action being motioned upon is breaking our rules or like not something that we're responsible for physically possible. You can raise your hand, I would recognize you and you can say point of order and say what it is. And then as the chair, I have the authority to accept or reject the point. If I reject it, you can raise your hand again and say, I move to overturn the decision of the chair. And then we will put it to a vote and the Senate can see, or you guys can see if there will be a move to overturn the decision. Typically, there isn't a discussion if that happens. If it's super important that a discussion happens, you can raise your hand and ask for discussion time too and motion it forward. Point of personal privilege. I don't know if we can touch the room temperature ourselves, but like,
We could try.
if the room is too hot,
If the door's open.
someone's not talking loud enough, stuff like
Point of
that.
personal privilege.
Yes, just use it for that. Point of inquiry, I mean, you could just raise your hand and ask a question. This is more like formal though, like if you're asking a question about a procedure more so, like how finance is doing something, like, oh, like how did you handle this specific audit? Use like a point of inquiry instead of like a question, like if it's in the middle of a discussion. And then point of parliamentary inquiry is like a question about Robert's rules or like the Senate procedures, as outlined by the Constitution and Rules package. If you think something might be a rules violation that we're trying to put forward, or like I accept a vote that was supposed to be 2/3 majority as only a simple majority, you could do a point of parliamentary inquiry or a point of order. Either one of them would work. And then parliamentary inquiry would shoot it to Blanca to have a decision on the spot for. Point of order would shoot it to me to have a decision on the spot for. So, yeah. Blanca also serves as our parliamentarian, so anything parliamentary, when it says that, it always shoots to her in the legislative committee. Advice for the future? I'll take it.
Okay, so resources for you guys can be found under my section of the Kodiak, Vice President. That's things like how to write a report. What else? What else is in there? I'm blanking.
The rules package is
So,
under
yeah,
yours.
the rules package, basically things that I would consider resources to all of you. I encourage you guys to say what you want when you want it. It's important that we have collective voices coming together because that's how we really like get different perspectives and how you guys represent your constituencies. And we, again, can help you if you aren't sure how to say something, but you want to say it. Ask questions, no matter how dumb you think they make you sound. I remember sitting in my first Senate meeting, I was an arts and science representative, and I literally had no idea what was going on. Like, I genuinely had no idea what anybody was talking about. We didn't have presentations like this, but it'll come. And like the way you learn is asking questions, so don't be afraid to ask questions. Share your opinions, share the opinions of your constituents. It's important, that's why you guys are all here. Produce a personal agenda that serves your constituency, so try and come into every meeting with the mindset of like, okay, what does my constituency need me to do here today? And talk with your committee chair frequently, form connections. Like I said, these people are great and they are here to help you and here to help you make connections. So if you're looking to like kind of rise the ranks in the Senate, that's probably where you'd start, because they make recommendations to us about who should replace them. Also, communication is key. Like Camden said, let us know what's going on. Let us know if you're struggling. Let us know if you're working on something. Like, we're always here to help and connect you guys with who you need to be connected with. Yeah.
We want to make this
Yeah.
easy for you guys. Like, literally, like, if you're showing up and you're voicing your opinion and you submit the monthly report, that is the bare minimum. That is what your requirement is to do your job and stay a member. That is it. Anything additional to that, obviously, like, there's a little more emphasis on some of the standing committee work because sometimes you need to vote on it, and that's super simple too. Like, showing up still counts for voting on that stuff. But if something like, if that can't happen for you, the last thing we want to do is like have you removed because something's going wrong. You don't feel comfortable, something, literally anything else. Like, please just come talk to Jess and I about it, and we'll set up a time to talk with you. We'll call with you, whatever it is, and we'll figure out a solution together. Additionally, the best members of Senate don't know everything. They ask questions when they have them. The amount of questions I get from all these guys and then the amount of questions I send to Bridget or Greg on a daily basis is probably ridiculous and would fill up all of our inboxes. But things don't get done unless people ask questions. So ask questions. Please don't feel stupid for asking a question. You are not. It is okay. I've asked questions. They've asked questions. You're going to ask questions. You're going to have questions. That's okay. Yeah. Anything to add?
Oh, also, we have office hours. Does everybody know where the Senate office is?
It's okay if you don't.
It's okay if you don't, because it's kind of hidden. Picture the upstairs of the campus center, like a little square, in between the Senate chambers and like the student hub, that section, and CCB, CCA. There's a hallway. It has bathrooms on the left side, Senate office on the right. Our office hours are posted on the Kodiak and on the door outside the Senate office. And it should be labeled if you're struggling to find it. But if you ever have any questions or want to work on something, if we're there, knock on the door and you can ask us whatever.
Yeah, take initiative with stuff, ask questions, let us know. But do you guys have any questions about Senate, anything we said yet, Brett?
So more of a comment that didn't get brought up during my section or the committees, but I have a committee, which is the Special Events Committee. You could be in one of the 4 main ones and mine at the same time. A lot of it will just be volunteering, helping with setup and breakdown or working a table. Benefits, because people like benefits, is that you'll get priority knowledge to all the events that I'm running. And if you're volunteering, you'll get more access to the food trucks. If you have any interest in joining, you can email me, or I'll probably be lingering around somewhere out there after.
Yeah, thank you. Also, that's the same with Sam's committee and Natalia's committee as well. They're more ad hoc, so just reach out to them if you're interested in helping with those things. They always need more help. Typically, the special committees don't get much interest except for the people leading them. But it would be great to have other people helping them out as well, even if it's just in a small role, like helping with just one meeting here or there and just writing about it for a report, like 2 sentences. Yeah. Any other? Yeah.
I know you mentioned monthly reports, which I know the first one's coming up. Is this something we fill out as individual senators or alongside the other senators?
Fill it
Great
out
question.
alongside, but the new senators, you're exempt.
Yes.
Include them in it, let them know what you're doing. Connect with each other now, give each other your contact information. You submit 1 report per constituency. If we get multiple, we will debate which one's better at the next meeting and figure out which one we're accepting to go into the minutes. We will not take
And we'll
multiple.
crash out.
Yeah.
It's too often that we say submit 1 and then you guys don't talk to each other and you submit like 4. So literally, like, the people that are sitting next to you right now, the people that are in your constituency, talk to them, like, get to know them, work with them, because like, consider this your group project group for the rest of the term.
Literally, the stuff for it too, like a sentence per question, you're only presenting 2 questions at Senate mandatory. The other 2 are not mandatory. For time's sake, we ask you don't do it unless it's something big, like one of them's constituency kudos. Like if it's small stuff, like it will go into the minutes. If it's big stuff, though, like something really, really big for your constituency, mention it at Senate
It's also a Microsoft,
form.
thank you, Brett.
Yeah.
Microsoft form, so, I recommend if you're working with like multiple people per constituency, make a joint like Word doc or whatever, and then, you can have one person submit the report, into the sections of the Microsoft form.
I think the form also, at least one of the versions of the old one, blocked it after one was accepted already. If it's not like that now, we'll be looking to add that again going forward.
Yeah.
So if you go through it and it's already submitted, then you need to talk to your reps.
But please work with each other and
Yes.
please don't make one person do it all because I've been that person and it makes you hate doing Senate. So don't do that, work together. If you ever need help connecting with like, I don't know, for the college reps, deans, things like that, like we can help. Feel free to CC us on any emails that you guys send. That's about all I have.
Yeah.
That's it.
There is a class here after us. So we have a hard stop at 1:55. If you guys have questions, please come up and talk to anyone of us. We'll try our best to answer them for you, but, I don't have my gavel, but at this time, I move to postpone the rest of the agenda.
Second.
Okay, hearing a second, we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? The motion passes. Next, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Hearing a second, we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those abstaining? Motion passes.
If anybody has Title IX forms, can you get that to me last?